Hi there, LaunchDeck here.
I'm Vlad, here with Arthur, and we're founders of LaunchDeck.
Today we're going to give you the basics of one-pager as the first point of contact with your potential investors.
At the end of this video, you will know everything about one-pagers. What is a one-pager, how it differs from a pitch deck, which purposes does it serve, and how you need to structure it to get better results from your outreach.
If you miss anything, don't worry. In the description below, you will also find a one-pager checklist with all the points we've mentioned in this video. And you will find a template to create your own one-pager for your future projects. So for starters, what's the difference between one-pager and a pitch deck, and what purpose does it serve?
One-pager is basically a summary document that presents your startup, and usually it is the first step of communication with your potential investors. While in pitch deck you present your startup in detail, one-pager serves the purpose of a brief summary of your pitch deck, which tells your story in a brief and concise manner.
So if you are applying for an acceleration program, for instance, or you are reaching out to your potential VCs or investors, then one-pager is a good way to start your communication. In 3 years working closely with startups, we figured the best framework for the first step of your outreach to the investors.
And now we will show you how to use it in 8 simple steps.
Step 1. Header section. Basically, same material as your title slide in your pitch deck. So you should include your company's or your startup's logo. Then you should describe your startup in one brief section, what it does and why it matters. This could be described as one-liner, for instance.
The next section is a combination of your problem statement and solution. Firstly, you should describe the problem that your startup solves. This problem should be clear to anyone. You should explain in 1 or 2 sentences why the market is outdated or what are the problems on your market. And also include reliable sources of information that back up your points.
You can combine the problem and solution in one section, showing the comparison between the current approach and how you can innovate it or do it better. Note that your solution should clearly answer the demands from the problem side of this section. The fourth step, when you presented the problem and solution, you should show the market you are going to operate on.
The best way to do it is using a SOM, SAM, TAM framework. Note that your target market should be huge enough to be attractive for an investor, but at the same time, it should be related to your solution. Apart from static market size, you should show dynamic market trends, the growth of this market, its potential, and a big opportunity for an investment. This could be done in 2 or 3 core market trends and drivers.
After you give an overview for your market, you should move on to showing an MVP or a vision of your product. Present your product in a very simple way without showing any technical details or even details at all. What you should do is you can show the super features of your product, answering the question why your product is a game changer and is 10 times better than the competitors.
On step 6, you should show your traction or proof of concept. This should include 3 to 5 quantifiable results of your project. For example, signups, user base, funding, partnerships, or media coverage.
This should be enough to form a trust bond between you and your potential investor, as well as showing your product market fit. After that, most importantly, you should introduce the key people on your team. Explain why you and your team are perfect to solve the problem and make the idea work. Do not put only pictures and names in this section. Emphasize your expertise in the field, why your team is good enough to make this project happen, because this is what investor is looking for, especially on early stages. Alright, so we stated more or less everything. We have a slim document that goes straight to the point, telling everything the investor needs to be interested in your project. But how do we close the deal?
For this, there are 3 key points. Start with a call to action, a catchy phrase that will motivate investor to be involved in your project. Followed by the ask section, and in this section you will state what you are seeking, for example, partnerships, seed funding, etc. And finally, your contact details, how exactly an investor or other target audience can reach out to you.
This sums up how to create a one-pager that actually wins. Download the checklist and the templates in the description below.
And if you want us to create different guides and templates for other investment materials, feel free to comment below.
If you don't want to miss the next breakdown video, then subscribe to our channel.
See ya!